What's going on, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and I really am excited to share with you my initial impressions for Destiny Beyond Light. This is the latest expansion to drop, and the best thing about this is it's included with Game Pass. So if you are in Game Pass on Xbox, just go nuts, have fun. If this is all you're looking for, trying to decide if you should download the game or not, as long as you got the hard drive space, I say go for it, give it a shot. Let me know what you think overall in the comments below. That's going to be the goal and the discussion of this coffee chat. Note that I think this is not a review. This is going to be, again, focusing in on how I'm feeling around the game right now, how ice power feels, and I guess the long TLDR of it is, it feels awesome and it feels game-changing, and I'm actually a little surprised that, especially doing some Crucible today, that I didn't run into everybody doing ice powers. So I thought that was actually kind of a refreshing surprise at the end of the day. So I'm going to also kind of address kind of a thing. You know, one of the things I do want to get out ahead of a thing is that if you're negative on the game, if you are frustrated with the game, you know, I can understand where you're coming from. Just going out Reddit right now, like even if you look at some of these titles, Why So Little Weapons, Outsider Europa, The Game Feels Dead, $40 expansion should have all vendors refreshes. Please reverse the sun-shitting change. The current loophole is disappointingly small. I don't disagree with any of those statements, but just speaking from a pure, like jumping into Europa, jumping into the game, firing those guns, doing some PvP, playing with friends, Destiny is Destiny. And if, you know, in a way, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not putting, you know, or giving Bungie all the grace in the world to deliver something that's subpar. But I just don't feel right now that the game is subpar. I feel like the game is delivering what I was expecting it to be. And that's where I think that where maybe I will disagree or come into conflict with others in the community who expected more, because you are spending $40 if you're not a part of the Game Pass ecosystem, or you are spending $40 as you wait for Game Pass to come to PC and bring Destiny 2 to the PC and kind of deliver that whole approach. So money is important because money like automatically translates completely into the concept of value, and value and what your time is worth is important. And so me saying that this is perfectly fine, I can see how I could kind of rub against somebody who essentially is just feeling that their time and their money isn't respected. So for those individuals, you know, hopefully you guys come back and check out the game in the future. Note that as a game that it evolves, the question is, should you jump in today? Is what I've experienced worth the entry point? And if you are somebody who's got unlimited time and resources, I think you're going to experience this game and you're going to have fun. I don't know if they have enough here that you basically, it's not going to dominate your end of 2020, all of 2021. I think it's going to be a game that you jump in, you enjoy, you take a step back, you go enjoy something else. WoW Shadowlands is dropping. I just started playing WoW, if you guys haven't seen, and yeah, I'm going to be playing that here in a couple of weeks. It feels like, obviously, with all the delays, hey, everything's kind of coming up all at the same time. So it is what it is in that regard. So as far as answering that question, so if you're like listening to this and you're like, Brian, I want to know, do it or don't. If you don't have a single other thing to play right now, do it. Just jump in. If you're sitting here like, yeah, I'm really excited about Shadowlands, I'm not so worried about Destiny. Here's the good news. Jump in, play the first mission. It's free. You can go to Europa, you can run around the snow world. It's free. You can jump into Crucible, you can play the Strikes playlist. Like, I think the game does a decent job now, where in the past, I would say, and have advocated against Destiny in the past, where, hey, it's asking for too much money and it's not giving you a reason to spend it. I would say jump in, play. You know, as far as the light and the power level goes, like that's increased. You're going to be able to experience the core game without having to pony up money. And if you feel like maybe this isn't the right time for your schedule, if you feel like this isn't the right time to spend that kind of money, you know what? That's actually kind of a plus in my book. It's kind of one of the things I look at Destiny overall and say, you know what? That's actually a pretty cool deal. Now for me, like over the course of the summer, over the course of the years, Destiny 2 has been a compelling reason to keep playing. I'm a primarily PvP player, but with the fact that they've got a 3-year roadmap for different content rolling out, it honestly feels pretty good. So, Destiny Beyond Light, let me kind of be a little bit more critical of it for a second, is to say, it doesn't feel like Destiny 3. It doesn't feel like that huge shift towards something massive outside of Stasis. Stasis feels incredible. It feels powerful. I love how it changes it. And one of the things stepping into the world of PvP for a little bit, I was actually surprised that not everybody's rocking stasis. And for me, that actually kind of says, oh, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that stasis isn't so 100% dominant, but with the ability to create those like wall grenades of ice, that is a game changer in and of itself. Like, that has completely changed how things are functioning and how things are rocking and rolling in the course of just a single PvP match. In the end of it. Now, obviously, as metas kind of evolve, as we kind of test out different things, as gear and power level goes up, there's going to be so much more to play with. But just to focus in on kind of the highlights, the things that really stood out to me, the things that I enjoy absolutely the most about this game, is I like the challenge. I like stepping into Europa. Europa obviously is a part of the original concept art and something in the game's world and lore. For the longest time, it's finally a great time to experience the story of the Traveler. I'm going to butcher her name, so I'm just going to skip over it. The Stranger, excuse me. Having experienced the event with the Traveler kind of healing themselves over the course of this weekend and then stepping into Beyond Light, like, it is an exciting time to be part of that. It's exciting to see my friends list full up of Destiny players, and it's an exciting time to go shoot some monsters. Well, that all kind of comes into play. I like that the monsters are using stasis against me. It is a huge, cool new mechanic that I'm enjoying playing around with, wielding myself. Excuse me. Wielding myself and then coming back and putting it against, trying to adjust with that. It's kind of hard to say because at the end of the day, like, the campaign is the campaign. The mission in which you have to kill 35 Fallen was fun and at the same time frustrating because I got up to like 33 and ended up just, getting killed. There's a treasure box. You got to be careful on Europa where you'll get these keys that will detonate, will self-kill you. And so you got to be a little bit careful. You got to be paying attention. And it's those kind of neat little surprises that end up being a lot of fun. The other side of it is that everybody gets boosted up. So while I was already at my power cap for the previous season, for the previous version of Destiny, at the core of it, it's pretty cool, and I'm really enjoying it. I think the biggest knock against this system and this game is its limitation in terms of crossplay, and that's where I know that it's coming. I know that it's coming down the road. I know that we have to sit down and wait for it to get here, and while we have cross save is a huge benefit to Destiny as a whole, being able to sit here and just say, okay, like having to coordinate what platform we're playing on. We were trying to play on GeForce Now over the course of the launch just yesterday, and the launch kind of went a little bit rough. And, at the end of the day, like, judging a game based off of its launch, if there's launch and server issues and update issues, like, in 2 years, it's not going to matter. But at the same time, it is what it is. But GeForce Now wasn't updated. Like, it took it forever to get updated. So it completely changed and altered my schedule and time that I could actually play the game. And in a crazy bit of story, my friend, like, Amazon was telling me my Xbox Series X wasn't going to be here till December 31st or something like that. A friend ended up getting an extra one. So I bought an Xbox Series X off of him. So I got to play a little bit of Destiny Beyond Light on a Series X yesterday. So that was actually kind of a surprise for me overall. Hi guys, hopefully I've answered the question whether you should jump in or not. Hopefully you've listened to these words and you're trying to make a decision for yourself whether it's going to be worth your time. You're going to get Destiny when you play this. Like, that is both a positive and a negative, depending on how many hours you've already sunk into this game. If you're like me and you've sunk hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, if not into the thousands, if you count Destiny one time, at some point you're going to be like, okay, well, I want something different. I want to change. But it's always fun to kind of be a part of something while it's happening, and it's a good time to kind of jump in. And like the Game Pass thing makes any kind of worth it kind of answer is, almost to the point where if you got Game Pass, like, it's definitely worth it to try. It's definitely worth it to step onto Europa and try to make that decision for yourself. I don't think overall the length of the campaign is going to keep you hooked, but that never was Destiny's main factor. And if I was going to say anything to the devs, if the devs would come to me and say, hey Brian, what can we add to this game to make it a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more easier to jump into? And I'd say some kind of like almost a mission playlist, a story playlist. Like, if I wanted to go and kick off after I've completed the story quest, if I just wanted to go and go to a list and say, yes, let me go ahead and run that quest, let me run that mission again, I think that could end up helping out a lot of new players as they make their way through the game. But it could also, man, my voice is cracking up. It could also help a lot of us existing players to kind of jump back and experience any of the missions, or at least remember like what it was like when we were playing through that with our friends on that specific day. Anyway, that's going to be my thoughts. It's a pretty simple, straightforward video. Thanks for kind of letting me, just kind of speak unscripted to you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you feel like this earns your like, if you feel like it earns your subscription, let me know if you hit that subscribe button so I can welcome you officially to the Soul Nation. I'm going to wrap up. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, week, and I hope to see you in my next video. But until then, take care. This video is sponsored by me, Ginger Prime. Hopefully you'll check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, which we have lots of guests, lots of great conversations, and even more highlights. Links are in the description below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.